What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin. Hopefully, the stand will stay up. I recorded a book review, the Swords and Deviltry book by Fritz Leber. The stupid uh, video got cut off at the end. There was like 5 seconds missing, but fuck it. So yeah, So we're reviewing Dragon Quest IV Chapters of the Chosen. So this is the first game in the new trilogy of Dragon Quest games, which is the Ceniphian trilogy, which I always heard took place in a separate world from the Erdrick trilogy. There was a point in the game, where they reference shit that happened in the Erdrick trilogy. So I'm pretty sure this is still the same world, but screw it. So yeah, we're reviewing the DS version of this game, which came out in 2006. This game is actually the remnant of the Dragon Quest IV remake for the PS1, which got canceled because people shit on the Dragon Quest VII back when it first came out because of the crappy graphics, and now people shit on it because it's too long and the puzzles and all that stuff. Which we have the Japanese fans, according to some podcasts I listen to, we have the Japanese fans to thank for the crappy graphics for Dragon Quest VII, because they didn't want it to go full 3D like Final Fantasy VII, because they were afraid if it goes 3D, it's going to become too mainstream and it's going to become a completely the franchise is going to change overnight, like what happened to Final Fantasy. Only for that to happen like 2 decades later, because the next Dragon Quest game, 12, is supposed to be an action RPG. But you don't hear the Dragon Quest fans going on losing their shit. Like, the next one's gonna be action. Fuck. Betrayal. Betrayed me. What's that spoony fucking thing? Oh my god. Betrayal. He got a dude fired. He had his friend who got him into that convention's journalists fucking credentials revoked. Oh my god. Was that Angry Joe? I can't remember. I don't know. Spoony was cool back in the day. So yeah, this is a turn-based JRPG. It's first-person combat. You have sprites, but you also have 3D backgrounds where you can move the camera and look around, which I really wish. I'm playing Suikoden right now, and I really wish Suikoden had that. Oh my god, I like Suikoden, but fuck, man, these fucking NPCs who block the pathways, and you have to wait for them to fucking move out of the way before you can leave a place or whatever, or they sometimes box you in. Oh my god, I had to wait 5 minutes for this one NPC to move out of the way so I can get off the fucking port so I can get to the place where I needed to fucking go, man. Holy shit. But Suikoden rules. It's better than Fantasian. So let's talk about this game. So apparently this game, one of the reasons why I really wanted to play the game is because I heard from our boy Kobe. If you don't know who Kobe is, that means you're a fucking filthy casual. So apparently Kobe claims that the villain of this game was the inspiration for Griffith from Berserk, which is what the fuck? Which this game, I don't even think that makes sense, dude, because this game came out, the original came out in the NES, right? It wasn't until Dragon Quest 5 and 6 where those, I don't have 6 by the way. I have it digital, but I don't have it physical. And by digital, keep that secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Oh, right. Which is like, Berserk came out what, 98, and the original NES game was what, like, I don't know when fucking Dragon Quest IV first came out. But I'm pretty sure they stopped making NES games around like 95 or 96 or whatever. So it's like, I press X to doubt that like that Pizarro is the precursor, was inspired by Griffith. I press X to doubt, but people say the Kobe says different. I don't know. But yeah, this game is really cool. Because unlike with other Dragon Quest games, the game is told in chapters where you have the main character is the hero who lives in this village, and for the prologue, the first chapter you see him in, there's no combat. It's just him hanging out with his family, hanging out with his childhood friend, which you can make the hero male or female. I chose male, obviously, because because I'm a man, and I don't like to role play as women, because it feels weird role playing as women. I don't know. Some people are more comfortable with that. I don't like role playing as women. I don't like people are like, oh, I love to play as women because then you could look at their asses and shit. It's like, fuck, you're a gooner, a filthy gooner. Melanie Max says you gotta stop gooning. Loser. So yeah. There's no combat, and you find out our main character is like this guy who's like this hero. He's being trained to save the world one day from the Archfiend, the Demon Lord, or whatever his name is, right? Which there was for people who don't know, there was a Dragon Quest Monsters game where you got to play as the villain from this game, which I reviewed and I beat. It was a good game. And the other chapters of the game is you get where you get to meet the other party members of the other party members. So you have Ragnar, who is like in chapter 2 or I think it's chapter 1. You have the prologue, right? And he's on this quest to rescue kids that are disappearing from the local villages, who may or not are being killed and sacrificed to demons because they're trying to hunt down the hero, not knowing he's a full-grown man or teenager or whatever at this point. You have Elena, who's this tomboy Russian princess who runaways from her castle to go on an adventure with Boria, who's this old mage, and Kirill, who I love. Kirill, he looks like Trunks, who's like a Russian soldier who has white mage spells. And they go on these little adventures. They save kids. They save this chick who's impersonating her, and they find this tournament where they're supposed to where our main character, where Elena is supposed to fight Sorrow, only for Sorrow, who's introduced as the Manslayer, not to show up. Which he has a very cool looking, sprite. Like he has like armor. It's a wicked looking sword. Yeah, and then you have the other chapters where you have Torneko, who's this fat merchant guy who just wants to be the most famous merchant in the land, and who goes on this quest to look for the Cenephian sword, which, just like in the first Dragon Quest game, you have to collect like different pieces of weapons and armor with the Cenephian weapons and armor, which is like the Cenephians, like the heaven in the game. But like God is a dragon god, but there are angels. And you have the fourth chapter where you get introduced to these two belly dancer girls, Mina and Maya. Mina's like a fortune teller, and Maya's the wizard, the black mage. Which there's Maya there, who's the best girl. in my opinion. Which, holy shit, she's like, as far this Dragon Quest game has the best character designs in the series, in my opinion. And they're I think they're supposed to be French, and they are on this quest for revenge to kill this guy who was their parents was this alchemist, and one of the apprentices to their alchemist father them killed them. So they're on this quest to revenge to kill the one dude, Balrak, I think is his name, who turns out to be working for Zaro, who actually turns into a monster, a demon, filthy fucking demon, dude. And we have to slay the fucking demon, dude. Demon Slayer, bitch. You gotta slay the fucking demon. Pretend this is a sword. Oh Canada, soon, if Trump has his way, soon I'm gonna have to replace this flag with an American flag. I am a real American, fight for those. How did the fucking song go? I can't remember. But yes, soon we're gonna be singing that song. Oh, and then we get to chapter 5, and I'm playing other games. I was gonna take a break from this game, dude. I was gonna play Phantasy Star 2, but then I'm like, I'm gonna play a little bit of chapter 5, and chapter 5 is where you get to play as the hero again, and chapter 5 really kicks off, dude. Really kicks off, where everybody gets fucking slaughtered in your village to protect you, including your fairy elf girlfriend, who morphs into your image and fakes your death. So you go on this mission of revenge. You go and meet the other party members of your team. I hit the fucking table, and you go out into the world to find that motherfucker, Sorrow, who killed, like, your girlfriend and your family or whatever. It turned out not to be your real family. It turns out your character is half angel, dude. Which this is like, playing these games and doing Bible study, I've noticed, hey, there's like a lot of like biblical stuff in this in the franchise, at least with the early Dragon Quest games, and like, yeah, with this one I might be right. I don't know. The stupid stand, I can't get the stupid fucking thing is going to fall. Oh my god, I'm just gonna hold it. So yeah, there's also like cool mechanics where, like, the one girl's weapon, she has a deck of tarot cards, and if you use it in battle, it's random, but it uses different spells. I thought that was cool mechanic. But one of them is the Fool, which can cast Rack to Whack on your party and may or may not kill one of your guys, right? So that fucking sucked. There are temporary party members, including, you get one at the end, which is a dragon called Sparky, which, I thought that was cool. But your temporary party members, they can't level up. They just stay at whatever level they're at. So that sucked. Because especially with Sparky, because Sparky stays with you till the end of the game, but he's not around in chapter 6, which is the post game, where you go in one last dungeon, and apparently, if you beat a boss who you already beat it in chapter 5, by the way, you can get Sorrow and Rose, which is, Sorrow's girlfriend from Dragon Quest 4. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, who's originally from this game, by the way. they can join your party. But at that point, there's nothing else for your guys to do. So it's like, why? I didn't even bother with the post game content, because it's like, why bother? It's not. If it would be one thing, it's like, oh, they join the party right away, and then you go into the final dungeon to kill the final boss. But it's like, oh no, you only get them after, and it's like you. So it's like, what's the point? I just beat the game. And I didn't do any of the post game stuff, which you do. It is credits, and you save your, so you save your game. So it's like, it is like optional shit, dude. It's probably not even non-canon, by the way. Yeah. So what did I think about this game? The game, it's fast-paced combat. The story is pretty good. Not as good as Dragon Quest V, by the way. Like, you have, like, the game only took me, like, 30-something hours to beat. Probably longer if I didn't take advantage of the Metal King slimes. Holy... There's a side quest to get this item in the game, which I thought you would have need to progress in the story. No, you just have it so you can rewind time for when the fucking metal slimes try to fucking run away, dude. So you can keep them from running away, so you can kill them and level up faster. Which, that's the whole point. That's a thing, a cheat in the game to level up fast, is to hunt and kill metal slimes. Because at certain points of the game, characters, when they rejoin your party, they're going to be under leveled. So you're going to want to level them up quick so to make them useful, right? I felt like there are too many party members in the game, and would have been nice for certain sections of the game if they kind of force you to have certain party members on your team. Kind of like in Suikoden, where you have like 108 fucking party members. Here it's like, oh, you have like, what was it? There's like 3 missing from here. So it's like, besides from the main character, you have like 7 other party members, include 8 if you include Sparky. But I didn't really use Sparky. So I enjoyed this game. It's not just like with, like, to me, the Dragon Quest games are like comfy RPGs. The dungeons aren't too complicated. The strategies to beat the bosses aren't too complicated. Though there are going to be points in the game where you have like 2 mages in the party, and one uses fire spells and one uses ice spells. So sometimes you'll fight a boss. You'll bring one of your mages, and it's like, oh, this one ice or fire doesn't really work. So it's like, oh, I brought the wrong fucking mage to this fight. To the point where, like, I was looking at guides, and sometimes the guides will tell you, don't even bother bringing fucking mages to the party. Just bring your melee characters. Which Elena is supposed to be a melee warrior kind of thing, but she can't equip a lot of the swords and heavier weapons. But she's one of the best fighters in the game, because she gets this thing called the Falcon Earrings, it's kind of like the Falcon Blade, where you can attack twice. And it has such shitty attack that it looks like it would be shitty, but it actually does more damage consistency than like my other melee characters do. So I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, I enjoyed the game. It's super fun, and I was surprised. Like I had a lot of trouble with the final boss, who I was under leveled. So I left and I leveled up. Like, I was like level 35 when I first tried to fight him. I went back at level 40, and it was like super easy, dude. It was like, what the fuck? I was clutch as fuck at level 35, and level 40 I hardly had to use hardly had to use healing spells. I just used the fucking what's it called, the spark stone or whatever, the sparkly stone. I forget what it's called, but it's this the sacred stone. That's what it's called. Where it allows you to heal all the party members, but it's like really shitty. But if you just have the person do it every fucking turn, it adds up, dude. So I even have to use a lot of my like, oh fuck, my high level, like, high MP healing spells, which the fucking final boss, dude, is like so many phases that it's like, what the fuck? It was like a battle of endurance, but because I was so high level at the end, I was like over leveled the fighting. Which the reason why I was over leveled was because I looked at the guys like, oh, you want to be at level 42 or level 43 for the final dungeon. So I thought, oh, I'll level up to level 40. So in case I'm like halfway to what level I need to be to, like, do the final dungeon. But yeah, I ended up doing it because I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna beat all the Dragon Quest games I haven't beaten this year before 12 comes out, which I don't even think 12 is coming out this year. I think it is. I think it's going to come out maybe 2026. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Release Final Fantasy X offline, assholes. They're releasing it in Japan. Fuck. Uh. Apparently, I thought the game was already out. Turns out it's a demo, but they're releasing it for phones too, like next year in Japan. No, this year in Japan. It's like, fuck you, Square Enix, release that fucking shit. But yeah, so if I were to give this game a rating, like, it's fun, casual. It's very casual, friendly. It's like, to me, for the people who are like, oh, Dragon Quest is actually harder than Final Fantasy. Bullshit, dude. These classic Dragon Quest games are a lot easier than the classic Final Fantasy games. Especially since you don't really have classes and shit. Well, you did in 3, and 6 apparently has classes. But I don't know. To me, like, these are fun, easy games. Though there are going to be points where you're going to need to look at a guide to figure out, okay, where the fuck am I supposed to go next? Because these games are open world, by the way. And I forgot to mention, oh, I thought it was cool, like, you have, not only do you have your ship, but you also have an air balloon to fly around, which would have been nice if you just, kind of lame, but it's not like an airship. It's not like a flying dragon or bird, but hot air balloon. Okay, it was kind of cool. But yeah, would have been nice if, like, there was more, like, cutscenes, more scenes with our characters interacting. And I forgot to mention this, but the 8 had, like, mechanic called the talk button, where if you were ever lost in the game, you press the talk button, and you could talk to your party members to figure out what the fuck to do next. And they added this shit to the Dragon Quest DS games, like 5, 4, and 8. 4 and 9. But apparently, for when it came to 4, the translators were too fucking lazy to translate that shit. So if you use the talk button, it'll just say, oh, there's nobody to talk to. So they were fucking lazy when it comes to that shit. But apparently, I remember it working in 5 and it did not work in 6. But yeah, that's why you might need a guide for this game, because, But yeah, it's a very short game. But aside from that, I loved it. It was a blast, but the game is super expensive now. I saw it for like $140 for a game that's going to take you, even if you did the optional dungeon, you'll beat the game in under 40 hours. It's not worth $140, but if you see it for cheap or whatever, like, I got that game for like $50 or whatever, I think, when I initially got it. And 6 only goes for 100. I'm surprised. 6, not a lot of people like 6. That's why it only goes for 100. But yeah, I would not recommend this game to get it for $100. But over $100. But if you can get, I would say, you know what? Just, if you want to spend whatever money, or don't fucking pirate. Don't be a thief. But yeah. Thieving is wrong, guys, but buy the digital version. And I might come off as a hypocrite saying like, "Oh, this I like this game, I like the aesthetics," but what like, "Oh, I shit on this game," even though that this game was sprites with 3D backgrounds and this game has 3D backgrounds because because the graphics are so shitty, it doesn't look out of place with the sprites. Like the 3D backgrounds and the sprites, um, like they did a good job that the sprites didn't feel out of place. Where this game, it was very evident, like the difference between the 3D backgrounds and the sprites. With Suikoden doesn't have that problem either. So yeah, 7 out of 10. That's it for this review, guys. Peace out. Bye. Good night. I'm going to bed.